Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Maddles, joining me is Penguin, and we are here at the Insomnia51 Emerge UK Open. Or UK Masters actually.
UK Masters.
Yeah. We're out of the open stage.
We are out of the open stage. We are into the top 8. It's going to be a double elimination bracket today, guys. We have some amazing players going up against one another. We have Tefl versus... Oh wow, those are different names.
Okay, so we have Tefl v...
There we go.
No, that's not what we've got. We'll work out who we actually have. But basically, the fixtures coming up, we got Tefl versus Pouch, Orc versus Mini Razor, Lau v Bling, and Jamesykins versus Harstem. The first game we're getting into tonight is going, or this afternoon, is going to be Bling versus Lau in a best of 3. This is in the upper bracket, round 1, and we're already getting underway.
That we are, and it's going to be Frost to kick things off in this best of 3 between these two UK players. It's going to be maybe our first PvT of the entire tournament, I think.
It's definitely the first one we've passed, which is awesome for us. I love PvT as a matchup.
Yeah, I do too.
But let's get in and introduce these two players. Penguin, take it away.
In the bottom right spawn location, playing as the red Protoss pieces for Team Dignitas, it is Bling. And spawning horizontal from him in the bottom left spawn location, playing for Team Infused, it is going to be our blue Terran player, Lau. Now, we were talking a little bit about Lau yesterday, and you mentioned that Lau is definitely one of those players who sometimes he's really on, he plays amazing StarCraft, and other times he's just not really there. So far this tournament, he has advanced. He actually advanced from a pretty tough group with both Boombox and Harstem in it, so he's done a pretty good job to advance this far. He's looking like he may well be on, and he was on last I-Series as well, coming second.
He did, and in that, of course, he was facing off against, I'm trying to recall who he was.
Tefl in the finals.
So that was a really good run for Lau, and even in the I-Series before that, he had a fairly good run through as well. So he's a consistent performer, but I agree with what you said when we were talking about it. He does have moments of brilliance, and last I-Series was definitely one of those. He played incredibly well, and he's going to be looking to potentially throw in an upset in this series up against Bling.
Bling, of course, the most consistent UK performer in recent days, coming up with a round of 16 finish in the WCS. I believe it was actually the first time a UK-based player made the round of 16 in the new WCS format. So very, very cool for him there. Thus far in this actual game so far, we do have a CC first coming down from Lau. I like this with a 4-player map. Bling is not really the kind of guy who likes to just do really ridiculously cheesy stuff versus Terran. He likes to play a more macro-based game. He likes being aggressive, but he doesn't really favor the very all-in-y style that some players like.
And I think that's probably one of the big things that Lau and Bling both have in their favor, is they know each other exceptionally well. They've met countless times, multiple I-Series events alone saw both of them actually contend with each other. So they know what to expect. They know that actually they do have some pretty funky builds, and Lau in particular does have some really awesome build orders that aren't as common in the current metagame.
Very, very true. He's another one of those players, like we saw Randy yesterday throw out some incredibly weird builds. Lau's another guy, not to the same extent as Randy, but he can also just throw out some really weird plays. He's the kind of guy, you could see Mech versus Protoss. You could see really wonky stuff. Two-port Banshee is something that Lau used to be very famous for in all 3 matchups.
And it was an annoying build to deal with, so I'm really hoping Lau's got some cool things like that coming through. We have actually had a correction from the Twitch chat that the Muslim got into the round of 16.
True, he did.
In Season 2 WCS America. So Bling, not in sheer numbers the most successful player, probably the joint most successful British player ever.
Yeah, and he's just very, very on form at the moment, and I'm very interested to see just what he shows us this game as well. We don't see too much coming out of him just yet. Just chronoed probes, going for that Nexus as well. It's going to be a Stargate out of Bling. I like this choice. Gives you a lot of variety. You can go into Phoenix Colossus if you so desire on a 4-player map. That is always viable. Always fun to watch. Not quite as common. And then, of course, there's also just the Oracle into just standard whatever you want to do. Just try to do some damage. And wow, we have already up to 4 Raxes here for Lau.
He's going to have plenty of Marines. He's skipped actually all gas to do this, which is something you very rarely see from Terran, because obviously it puts a bump in. You're not going to get the reactor add-on, meaning you need more barracks, but it also means that things like Tech Lab stims are going to be later than you'd want. But up against what Bling is currently doing, it's going to be really, really good, because there's going to be so many Marines that if an Oracle comes out of this Stargate, which we'll find out in a second if it's going to be. Yep, Lau should be in a beautiful spot to stop this.
And we have dBlinG playing very greedy behind this Oracle as well. He's continuing to just go into additional tech. No additional gateways coming down until just right now. 2 more starting on up, which will take him up to 3. But of course, those additional gateways won't be done for another minute or so. So the Marine count could get a little bit out of hand here for dBlinG. Lau gonna have the ability to really pressure quite well here if he decides to do so. And he must be thinking that, because you don't just go 4 racks and not pressure. On the plus side for this Oracle, though, the Oracle should be able to identify just what's coming his way.
There should be 12 Marines out by the time this Oracle gets over, which means both the main and natural will be easy to defend. 6 Marines beating an Oracle in a head-up fight. dBlinG's gonna have to pull back. He notices how many barracks there are right now.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. Wow.
He misses the 2 at the top, and 2 barracks. Seeing 2 barracks is so standard.
He must know there's too many Marines. There's too many Marines without a reactor. He knows there's more barracks there.
He must, yeah. And yeah, additionally, 2 more gateways coming down right away. And we're seeing dBlinG play coming out of dBlinG here. Going up for that 2-base dBlinG play. Very much Chrono Boost being spent into this Twilight Council at the moment. This is going to take him up to 6 gateways with the one that we just saw added on. So 6 gate dBlinG here. dBlinG gonna be able to really apply a lot of pressure. He's still continuing to make probes. He's sitting at 41 probes already. He could go for pressure into it, like heavy pressure into. If you can kill him, he tries. Otherwise, you can expand. That's one thing he can definitely do. But he is delaying stuff like upgrades. He doesn't have any forges yet. And, well, Lau actually also, he has the engineering bay, but no upgrades on the way just yet either. He's going to be moving across with quite a few Marines, though. 15 Marines moving across the map here.
Good number of Marines getting in position. This Stalker going to get annihilated very quickly. Still going, still pushing. Not any Marines actually were taken down as far as I am aware. And
not yet.
Of course, Stim hasn't even kicked in yet. The first 2 medevacs not going to be with this push, so ideally Lau just wants to bait a Photon Overcharge, waste some Mothership Core energy. But if he gets a couple more Stalkers, that's just a big bonus.
Yeah, but the problem is he needs to get some damage done. And it looks like he will be able to do that. 2 Stalkers going to go down right away. Really nice focus fire coming out of Lau so far. Stim is almost done, which will allow him to close the distance, despite the dBlinG a little bit easier. Nice micro coming out of dBlinG so far, though. He will lose another Stalker, though, and that is going to mean 3 Stalkers lost here. I think that was a pretty decent trade for Lau, considering that he has 4 Raxes here pumping out units.
On the money, it was actually worse for Lau in terms of how much resources were lost, but you've got to factor in the dBlinG lost gas from that.
And time.
And time,
delayed.
yep. He lost 200 gas, whereas Lau lost 750 minerals. That actually means that overall in resources-wise, I'd argue that was better for Lau, as long as he can defend against this big dBlinG Stalker play. Lots of bunkers coming up in the main.
But they're not done yet.
Nope.
Stim's done. There comes the dBlinG on into the high ground, which means that there can't really be any micro here from the Stalkers, but there's just not very many actual bio units here. A couple of the units are going to be able to be picked off. The Stalker count, though, is still very high. A nice dBlinG forward, but one mine does get a good shot off, and we'll be able to kill off another one. More Stalkers being warped on in. Lau already under 55 supply, trying to get as much done as he possibly can. The bunker will be focused on down once again. These 2 Marauders are able to do quite a bit of damage, but with the dBlinG control, dBlinG looks like he's able to take a commanding position right now.
GG's called. dBlinG takes the first game in this best of 3 quite convincingly.